Hey, what's up everyone? Scott Todnam here from the Health Classroom. This school year I'm trying to do a series about children's picture books and how I might use those for older students, specifically for me at the 8th grade level. I find that no matter what age, children's picture books have some simple messages that are appropriate for any grade level. Now, teenagers might play it off as if they're too cool. You know, they're above a children's book. And that's fine. This isn't necessarily for every student in the classroom. But any educator out there, you know that they're listening. Before we dive into this week's selection, let's talk logistics real quick. Besides having a physical copy of the book as I read aloud to students right here in the room, I also like to find the images online that I can display on the screen. And that way everybody in the room, no matter where they're sitting, can enjoy the images, the pictures, because those are important for children's books. I'm also careful about pacing. I want to make sure that I'm not reading too slow for the older students. But at the same time, I don't want to read too fast. I want to make sure that I'm enunciating each word in each sentence, and that way the students can internalize the messages that they're hearing, see the images on the screen, and then make connections to their real life. I also let my students know that my own 4 children at home, we read these stories. Oftentimes I'll read them with my younger kids, and it sparks that idea to use it within the middle school health classroom. It's just something that I'm willing to connect from my personal life. You know, I might say something like, just last night, we read this book at home, myself and my 6-year-old. We enjoyed this particular title. And it's a fun real life connection that I can have with my students. Here's a book that recently we checked out while examining emotional well-being with the 8th grade students. You can see that the title is In My Heart. It's a book written by Witek, and it's illustrated by Christine Rousey. This is a fun book in particular with the hard copy because there's a cutout right through the middle. And little kids enjoy this. There's the heart, and that just goes through the entire book. That cutout continues on each page. It's a part of each page and the message on each page. We got a star there, the world. What do we have? You know, a balloon you can see. And so that cutout, that's a theme that continues the whole way through In My Heart. We've got a main character here, and the main character is the narrator. So this is read in first person, and it goes through a whole bunch of emotions. And it goes like this at the start. My heart is full of feelings, big feelings and small feelings, loud feelings and quiet feelings, quick feelings and slow feelings. My heart is like a house with all these feelings living inside. So again, no matter what age, this works fine. It works well with little kids. This works all the way up through high school, depending on what level you teach. It's just talking about identifying and expressing and then regulating our own emotions. From there, In My Heart starts to spotlight different types of feelings. They go through happiness as a feeling. We go through bravery as a feeling. We get into other feelings and well-rounded feelings like anger and sadness. We get others like content and calmness. Every single page pretty much ends with the statement, this is when my heart is, and they fill in the blank. This is when my heart is sad. This is when my heart is calm. This is when my heart is brave, and so on. In My Heart is full of metaphors and analogies, and I love those, of course. I also love the fact that it goes into depth on lesser discussed emotions. For instance, this page is a great one. I like that this goes into depth about shyness. It says, sometimes I hide my heart away where no one can see, like my own small treasure. I don't want anyone to look at me. Safe on my swing, I can watch the world from up above. This is when my heart is shy. There's a pretty consistent theme throughout that all of these emotions, that's part of the human experience. That these emotions are allowed, that there are reasons for it. It gives some specific examples, and it even ends here by asking a question. The very last statement here says, my heart can feel so many feelings, and yours can too. Today my heart is proud. How does your heart feel? So this is a really nice supplement to any class that's covering emotional well-being. And plus, that last page, that end, that leads nicely into journaling if you so choose. How does your heart feel? What a great question, especially something that we know we're not going to read. So if I know that I can prompt a journal entry for students, And they also agree that we're not necessarily going to exchange that, and I'm not going to read all of their thoughts that they put down on page. What a great lead into a simple journaling activity within the health classroom. At some point in the lessons on emotional well-being, I also really like journal prompts that specifically take on one or two emotions. For instance, joy and sadness. A couple quick ideas include asking students to ponder if joy is a destination or if joy is a journey or a little of both. Do we ever arrive at happiness? And when does that occur? And is that an okay thing to aim for all the time as a human being? Is happiness the best emotion? Why are we so quick to push towards happiness? How come parents and guardians would love their children to be happy in life? And why, as teenagers, is that something that we also might aim for week to week? At the same time, I'll partner those questions with sadness. Why is it important to allow sadness in our lives? What happens if we push those sad or mad feelings aside? Does that benefit us? Does it help to hide things from others? And how do we go about expressing ourselves without alienating our peers and our classmates, or especially our good friends and family members? Pretty tricky journal prompts, but definitely some that teenagers are ready for. See if it fits in your own teaching and your own lessons. What I'll try and do is find a purchase link that I'll provide right here in the YouTube description that you can check out right after watching. I'm thankful that I can share these videos with everyone around the world, and I will continue to do so. So please stay tuned this school year as I spotlight a title of a children's picture book that I repurposed for use in the 8th grade health classroom. Until next time, take care.